Okay, we're going to continue on in our Father's Word. This is Ruth 3, verse 14. So she lay at his feet until morning, and she arose before one could recognize another. And then he said, "Do not let it be known that the woman came to the threshing floor." Also he said, "Bring the shawl that is on you and hold it." And when she held it, he measured 6 ephahs of barley and laid it on her. Then she went into the city. Then she came to her mother-in-law, and she said, "Is that you, my daughter?" Then she told her all that the man had done for her. And she said, "These 6 ephahs of barley he gave me, for he said to me, 'Do not go empty-handed to your mother-in-law.'" Then she said, "Sit still, my daughter, until you know how the matter will turn out. For the man will not rest until he has concluded this matter this day." Now this is Ruth 4. Now Boaz went up to the gate and sat down there. And behold, the close relative of whom Boaz had spoken came by. So Boaz said, "Come aside, friend, sit down here." So he came aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, "Sit down here." So they sat down. Then he said to the close relative, Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, sold the piece of land which belonged to her brother Elimelech. And I thought to inform you, saying, "Buy it back in the presence of the inhabitants and the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, redeem it. But if you will not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know, for there is no one but you to redeem it. And I am next after you." And he said, "I will redeem it." Then Boaz said, "On the day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you must also buy it from Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to perpetuate the name of the dead throughout his inheritance." And the close relatives said, "I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I ruin my own inheritance. You redeem my right of redemption for yourself, for I cannot redeem it." Now this was a custom in former times in Israel, concerning redeeming and exchanging. To confirm anything, one man took off his sandal and gave it to the other. And this was a confirmation in Israel. Therefore the close relatives said to Boaz, "Buy it yourself." So he took it off his sandal. And Boaz said to the elders and all the people, "You are witnesses this day that I have brought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's from the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of Mahlon, I have acquired as my wife, to perpetuate the name of the dead through his inheritance, that the name of the dead may not be cut off from among his brethren and from his position at the gate. You are witnesses this day." And all the people who were at the gate and the elders said, "We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman who is coming to your house like Rachel and Leah, the two who built the house of Israel. And may you prosper in Ephrathah and be famous in Bethlehem. May your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah, because of the offspring which the Lord will give you from this young woman." And Perez is in the bloodline of Christ, because Tamar is, and so is Judah. So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife. And when he went into her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bore a son. Then the women said to Naomi, "Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you this day without a close relative, and may his name be famous in Israel, and may he be to you a restorer of life and a nourisher of your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him." Then Naomi took the child and laid him on her bosom and became a nurse to him. Also the neighbor women gave him a name, saying, "This is a son born to Naomi." And they called his name Obed. He is of the father of Jesse, the father of David. Now this is genealogy of Perez. Perez begot Hezron. Hezron begot Ram. And Ram begot Amminadab. Amminadab begot Nahshon. And Nahshon begot Salmon. Salmon begot Boaz. And Boaz begot Obed. Obed begot Jesse. And Jesse begot King David. Okay, well that's the book of Ruth, the Moabitess. Now, according to the oral tradition of Judaism, it says that Boaz died the day after his wedding, but Obed was already conceived, and so Naomi was took care of Obed when he was small for Ruth. She was a nursemaid for Ruth and Obed. So we're going to continue on now. This is the first book of Samuel. Samuel, one of the great prophets. This is after you're going to have the 12 judges. And after the 12 judges, you're going to have Samuel as the last great judge. And then Samuel is going to anoint King Saul as king, the first man king of Israel. And then Saul didn't work out too good because he wanted to do things Saul's way and he didn't want to do things God's way. So things didn't work out too good for Saul. And then Samuel anointed King David after he anointed King Saul. And we're going to read about all that in these books of Samuel and 1st and 2nd Kings and 1st and 2nd Chronicles. It's going to cover all that. The kings of Israel. Now, this is the first book of Samuel. There were certain men of Ramathaim, Zophim, of the mountains of Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zep, an Ephraimite. And he had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. The man went up from his city yearly to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. Also the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And whenever the time came for Eliakim to make an offering, he would give portions to Peninnah, his wife, and to all her sons and daughters. But Hannah, he would give a double portion, for he loved Hannah, although the Lord had closed her womb. and her arrival also provoked her